Good morning. I just wanted to make a new video. I know I've been away from my brother's channel for a while. My work schedule is kind of more balanced now, so I hope maybe to do one video a week just on whatever I might have read in the Word over the last week. So there's a few things I wanted to share um, along with that for this first kind of coming back video. I just wanted to offer some of how I go about studying the Bible each week or every day. So this right here is the uh, week 1 year Bible reading plan that I use. And I will put a link for this in the description below. Basically, as you can see, starting on Sunday, you have the epistles, and then you switch over the next day on Monday to the law, Old Testament, Genesis, and so on. And I've always just really liked this because it helps me get through the entire Bible. I don't make it through as fast as a year, actually. I don't read that fast. I mean, so for me, it's more like the 100-week Bible plan, but still, and then, you get sidetracked onto different topics or whatever, as you're reading the Word or whatever, you might look up every day, but I just find this really helpful to keep you on track, and it's set up in a pretty good way where you see the links between Old and New Testament books and how the Bible just connects together so perfectly and everything. I mean, it's amazing. So, and then what I also do with that plan, this is my little notebook that I use every day. And usually, so I just write down, that's just what I do. You have your own method or whatever the Spirit leads you to do. I write down verses that stand out to me as I go. So this is today, 10:20, and I've been in First Chronicles, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. And similarly, like I try to fill up like one page per day, and this is usually like a half hour. But I don't make it every day. Either I just, I'm not diligent, or you read a lot and you don't find, that you're led to write down as much each day. But yeah, so I guess one other thing, well, there's two more things. I guess I'll first start with, well, this is the Bible that I've been using. This first mentioned study Bible, King James. I'll put a link for this in the description as well. I just got this pretty recently, like a couple months ago, by Kevin Mann. Just a really good, well, really interesting study Bible. So he goes through, and in the text, he writes down, well, no, he highlights or boldens any words the first time that they're used, and if it's the only time, the only time a word is used, he bolds and underlines it. And the idea with the first mention is that the first time you use a word, it gives you a gist of how the word is going to be used for the rest of the Bible. I guess, for example, a good one that comes to mind is the word love. It's a good question, a good knowledge question. When is the first time that the word love occurs in the Bible? And it's actually not what I would immediately think, but like I learned eventually, it isn't like Adam and Eve. It actually, the first time that the word love is used is Abraham saying that he loves Isaac. And it's in the context of the time where God asks Abraham to take Isaac and sacrifice him for a burnt offering. And there's so many types of Christ in that story. The Father loves the Son and offers the Son up as a propitiation for sin. So Abraham and Isaac are types of God the Father and God the Son. And so the first time that the word love is used is in making a picture of the sacrifice that Jesus made for us. So that gives you an idea of what love is actually meaning in the Bible, is sacrifice, true love in life and everything. So anyway, this is the Bible I've been using. And one more thing I will include, I don't have any space here, for in the description below. There's a very interesting YouTube channel. I mean, interesting is not a good enough word. He is called Truth is Christ, and he does amazing work on number study in the Bible, the number patterns, and how perfectly the word God, the word Jesus, the word Christ, so many number patterns in the Bible. It's not like weird numerology or like code cracking or whatever, but just pointing out the patterns that occur can only be they're an excellent sign for either the Bible lover or even the Bible skeptic that God's fingerprints are on the Bible. And now I won't go into a whole discussion right now. I'm sure Alex has better than me. That these number patterns and many things in the Bible actually only occur in the King James Holy Bible. We won't get into that discussion right now, but it's just fascinating. So, all that I really had to share for today was while I was reading First Chronicles. I guess I'll go there actually in the text here. So it's First Chronicles chapter 14. This is a very small thing, but I want to remember how I also was thinking about it for myself. So First Chronicles 14, I'll just read like the first three verses of the chapter. Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David and timber of cedars with masons and carpenters to build him an house. And David perceived that the Lord had confirmed him king over Israel, for his kingdom was lifted up on high because of his people Israel. And David took more wives at Jerusalem, and David begat more sons and daughters. So and it was really from the helps in this first mentioned Bible, because at the end of each chapter he has some very interesting notes related to numbers or when a word is first mentioned. But so David, I find that interesting how he perceives that the Lord is working with him and has helped him and everything. So he just recognizes how successful everything is going with this king of this other country and how his kingdom is just growing. So that's good and that's beautiful. But then immediately after that, it tells us David took more wives at Jerusalem. Now, I would never be one that would sit here and bash David, but I think you can say that that actually isn't what God wanted him to do, to take more wives. I think the whole Bible, portrays that the ideal situation is one man and one woman together in marriage for life. So to me, it's just a minor telling sign that David is a human being and he makes mistakes, and he perceives God correctly and he praises God and he thanks God on the one hand, but then on the other hand, still being just in the flesh and in a human being, that he would not perceive that he shouldn't do that, to take more wives. So now the interesting point then is that in the following verse, well, 3 verses, he lists the names of the children. And how many children is it? And this will sound a little weird or whatever, but it's 13. He has 13 more children. And this is sometime after he had previous wives, while he was fleeing from Saul and everything, and he had his son Absalom. And I think you can inductively or infer that he couldn't have spent as much time as he needed with his son Absalom, even though he did truly love Absalom. But anyway, as we know, Absalom was the one that turned against him and tried to take the kingdom and kill him and everything later on. But the point is, it's not superstitious. The number 13 is actually always associated in a bad way in the Bible. So you don't have anything to fear as a Christian of numbers and things, but it's just an interesting point that in this case, like, God doesn't directly tell you that he doesn't approve of David's taking more wives, but he does indirectly tell you, because he by the Spirit listed 13 children. And now I'm sure God loved all those 13 children and everything just the same, making me think of like how he treated the sons of Ishmael and everything. But yeah, God is extremely gracious is the point. And so how I apply this to me is that I do perceive God working in my life, sometimes, and I thank him and I appreciate him. But then I might turn around the very next minute and I, go off and don't perceive him, and I either commit some sin or I'm not pursuing him the way that he's really leading me. And so it just shows that we're all still in the flesh, and we should be humble and, thank God for the good, and thank God that he is gracious with us and everything. So, yeah. I guess that's it for today. I will try once a week to just maybe do a study on whatever I have read in the past week. So, all right. Jesus bless you, and I hope you have an excellent day.